good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And thank you for downloading and watching the Premier Geek podcast. You heard us on this podcast in 2024. Lying awake intently tuning in on you. Though we're old, it didn't stop you coming through. Oh, oh. We took the credit for your second symphony. Through this podcast, the new technology. Now you understand the problems that we see. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
oh,
I have the children. Oh,
oh,
oh.
oh.
What did we tell them? Podcast killed the radio star. Podcast killed the radio star. And so did MTV. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching OZ and the Freak Talk Geek. I'm OZ.
And I'm the freak. And on today's episode, M isn't for TV.
Not
That's right.
anymore.
You heard it. So, as it says down below, you remember when MTV used to play music videos. So, today's episode is all about MTV and pretty much where it started from, how awesome it was, and what do we have left over, like, it's what it evolved into. Um August 1st, 1981, MTV first aired, and its first music video was Video Killed the Radio Star, which
My
was,
little tribute was for.
and I love that. And just so y'all know, whenever we do this stuff, I have no idea what the hell he's going to say or how he's going to introduce the video. So that was new to you, and that was new to me for the first time. We both just heard that together, and I loved it. That
It was
was
the first
great.
time I sang it, too. I just wrote it like 10 minutes ago.
That's how prepared we are. That is how prepared we are for this episode. And pretty much most of our episodes, it usually just kind of pull it out of our ass.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, MTV used to be amazing. I loved it. I grew up watching a hell of a lot of MTV, especially for part of what I watched was I didn't just watch it for the music videos. Late at night, they had cartoons, they had some TV shows, but they also mixed in with the cartoons and stuff music videos. They were always playing music almost.
That's true. It started off just being straight up music videos. It was
It was
music
all
videos,
music.
24/7. They introduced the video jockey, the VJs, and then they started incorporating game shows during the day, and but it was all music based.
Yeah. Like one of the first ones we had Kurt Loder. Kurt Loder did A Week in Rock. That was the first his first TV show that he did on there. It was a short little video that would come up every once in a while, which eventually turned into MTV News. The infamous do where the little typewriter would type out NEWS, and it was like, I'm Kurt Loder with MTV News. And Kurt Loder became like the longest running spokesperson, I think, on MTV. But like you said, we had different VJs, video jockeys. We had Bill Bellamy, Matt Pinfield. Kurt Loder actually helped a lot for a little bit. We had Carson Daly. We had Jesse
Pauly
Camp.
Shore.
Pauly Shore. Yeah, Pauly Shore was on there for a while.
Especially when they started
Dave
doing
Holmes.
the whole spring break thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's when Bill Bellamy came in too, because Bill Bellamy had MTV Jams with a Z, and he also did Beach House. And that's I think with that around the time I think Pauly Shore came in.
Right.
And I remember, like, one of my favorite people was actually Dave Holmes. I like Dave Holmes. He was great, and he became the host to a couple of different TV shows. Say What Karaoke, I Spy Video. He helped Carson Daly with Total Request Live. And he was actually the second runner-up. Remember when they had a contest? It was Wanna Be a VJ, where
who won that?
Jesse Camp won it. He was the guy that was like
the hippie guy,
the hippie dude who looked like homeless, and he was like really tall and had I don't know, all sorts of crap going
God,
on
I
with his
forgot
hair.
all about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
he spoke real funny too. Like he actually sounded like he came off the street. and and he was an interesting feller.
As per old school MTV, I mean, you
Uh-huh.
probably did. But I know my earliest memories of cable television was like tuning in on MTV, and like
Mhm.
it got to the point where when I started in high school was just waking up in the morning, turning on MTV, seeing what the new videos were that were coming out that week.
Mhm.
Uh, the first time I ever seen Nine Inch Nails was like at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and Marilyn Manson, at 6:30 in the morning. It's like, okay, went away. He goes, wake up and start the day. And then Complex Emotions, when I was first introduced to Hanson, I was like, oh,
Good old M-bop.
she's cute. Yeah, they're all three of them are kind of cute. They're dudes. I feel weird now.
Okay, do you ever watch a lot of Family Guy?
I do.
There was
I
an
do.
episode. So there was an episode. They were playing a game, something about like Mary Bang Kill and everything like that. And Quagmire for like the bang and everything or whatever. His favorite person he chose was Taylor Hanson. and,
Nice.
he's like, yeah, and they're like, Quagmire, Taylor Hanson's a guy. He's like, No, 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 he's not. No, he's not. He's like, oh God, I've got all
Oh
those
God! Oh God!
videos. He's like, I've got all the videos.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I got to work. When I got to school, I was like, y'all see this Hanson? They're cute, huh? They're dudes.
Whoops.
Ooh,
Real eye
sorry.
opener there. So you
Spice
watched a lot.
Girls.
Oh, dude. Okay, so Spice Girls did take over for a little bit there. They played all their videos on MTV, and I had a huge crush on Ginger and Baby Spice. Both of those,
Oh.
both of those. Two different spectrums there, but Ginger, definitely Ginger. And then the Spice World movie came out. Which Spice Girl were you about?
I was so sporty and a posh. Give me
See,
those brunettes, man.
I could
You
so
know?
Sporty and Posh both look like they would hurt me.
Yeah.
One physically and the other one emotionally.
Yeah. I mean, you see my track record. I'm a glutton for punishment.
This is true. So it sounds like you watched a lot of MTV in the morning time.
I did, and
Hmm.
then eventually it was like late at night. I would toss in between MTV or Nick at Night. Um,
Hmm.
but my having cable in my house was it was an off and on process. When I
Hmm.
lived in the country, we didn't have cable, so I had to make do watching other things. And then when I moved back to like Louisiana, time and again, then we would get cable and we would get satellite. When we wouldn't have satellite, so I never had cable
Never had it like
consistently.
consistently. Yeah.
No, I did not. Not and like I would spend like the summers with my grandparents and they had cable, so I would catch a lot then.
Uh huh.
So that's where I discovered like Stone Temple Pilots and the Meat Puppets, or for Christ's sakes, Nirvana.
Yeah. Never when they would do their live and unplugged.
Live and unplugged. I still
I
say, and I stand firmly today, and I want to be proven wrong. The best live album ever recorded,
hmm
Nirvana Unplugged in New York.
I I'm not going to fight you on this one. Um, the my two of my favorite all time live performances are Nirvana live and unplugged, and then the second album that I've jammed my entire life that's been live was Pantera live 101 Proof. But to go from Pantera to Nirvana, that's kind of like a big difference there. But
Right.
those have always been my two favorite live bands. As far as like
The
the albums
recordings.
that they had, the recordings. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So
Nirvana put out a second one called "From the Muddy Wish Banks." From
it
the
wasn't that
muddy
great.
banks of Wishka, it was garbage. It was
Yeah,
hot garbage.
yeah, it wasn't that great.
Um, but this whole conversation has been about music, and
Hmm.
this is what MTV was all about. And we would get like the occasional
MTV
game
music
show,
television.
but I mean, but even in our prime watching of MTV, we got
Hmm.
shows like Singled Out,
We did have Singled Out.
Remote
Uh,
Control.
we so when I loved MTV, I watched it a lot at nighttime. I watched it for the music videos and I watched it for the animation shows.
Right.
I wasn't a big fan. Like during the day, I would watch some of the TV shows. Say What Karaoke with Dave Holmes, and Dave Holmes also had I Spy music video, which was only lasted like for a year, and I thought it was amazing. I loved I Spy, and I wish it wouldn't have gone away.
Yeah.
Um,
Explain the concept for I Spy. Is
so
it
I
like
Spy
pop up
video.
video on VH1?
Okay, so pop up video on VH1 would just, they would pop up
Mm-hmm.
and they would tell you like in this part this is what happened, or
Right.
like when they were making the video, it give you tidbits about the video and the music and the band.
Right.
I Spy video, Dave Holmes would go to like different bars and stuff like that, and he would offer people money. They basically they would watch a show, they would watch a music video, and then he would ask them what happened in this scene or what was he wearing in this scene. And it
Oh,
was I Spy music video, so you had to watch the video and really pay attention to it, and at the end of it he was going to ask you a question for something that happened in the video, and if you did you got some money or something.
that's fun.
And then Say What Karaoke was just simply finish the line, which
Which they
was a
do
good,
on
it was
late
a
night
good one.
television now.
Yeah. Matt Penfield had 120 minutes, which was just a 2-hour block of nothing but videos that he would host and do the VJ for. Total Request Live pretty much happened at like 3 or 4 o'clock. So anytime like after I got home from school, there was Total Request Live, and they had new buzzworthy music. Um, but my favorite outside of the music video aspect of it was the animations,
Yeah, we can't.
because to me a lot of animations go great with music. Like we've got Pink Floyd's The Wall. If you've ever seen Heavy Metal, there's 3 of them now, which is just awesome music collaborated to make an animation video.
What's
There's
the
Heavy
third one?
Metal. Well, there's Heavy Metal 2000, and there was a third one, Heavy Metal. I can't remember the name of it. I haven't even seen it yet. But I found out that it was there because I can't find anything that's streaming it, which is why I haven't seen it.
Heavy Metal is just like Heavy Metal 2000 is
Yeah.
just like the opening for Fifth Element.
Yeah, pretty
Did you ever
much.
notice that?
No, yeah, pretty much. It is.
Okay, I just thought it was
Um,
weird.
but yeah,
But
as far as the animations,
the
we
animations, dude.
we had The Max, which I absolutely loved because it was based off of a comic series. We had my all-time favorite that nobody remembers. Not Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead was one of the great ones. You had Daria as well. We had Liquid Television, which most of this was a block of Liquid Television on MTV. But it was a show called The Head.
The head,
Yes.
and
He
he had the
had
alien that
this
lived inside of his
alien.
head.
Yeah, and he would walk around, and because this alien lived inside of his head was freakishly ginormous, and nobody noticed. It was
Yeah,
just completely
he was
normal.
still charming and handsome. Just a
Yeah,
huge head. This
that was
booger monster that would come out.
that would pop out, and he was like a demon monster thing that would like kill and do all this weird crap. But yeah, the head was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I remember
Second
that.
favorite was Eon Flux.
Yeah, oh, with the eyeball, with the
Uh-huh. The
eyelash
eye
catching the
that would
fly.
catch the fly. They made a live action movie off of that.
Charlize
Uh
Theron.
I think so, yeah. But then we also had like Beavis and Butthead, which I wasn't allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead because my mom didn't think it was appropriate in the early 90s. I was, in like 10 or 12, something like that.
Her and
So
90% of American moms thought the
yeah,
same thing.
and I can remember the episode too that she saw, and she said, "Jeb, you're not allowed to watch that anymore." It was
The
the
poodle
episode.
and washing machine.
Nope, Frog Baseball.
Yeah, that one to do it too. Yeah.
The poodle and the washing machine was a great one because we got the comic line of washing the dog, washing the
Washing the
dog.
dog. Ah, Washing the dog.
Because everything they did, they lived an idiotic life, but they based a lot of shit off of music. So we got like Judas Priest, breaking the law, and said they had washing the dog. But unbeknownst to my mother, she didn't know at the time, I always stayed up late. And MTV always had reruns late at night of what they aired early in the day. So she'd go to bed, and then I would go up late at night, and I'd watch MTV Beavis and Butthead anyways.
There you go. There you go, man. Like my parents never had any real. They never did any real censorship for me with media. They explained to me, like right from wrong, and I'm not saying your parents didn't do that either, but like I never really got any real censorship.
The old man didn't give a shit. It was the mom was like, he doesn't need to be watching that.
No, I get it. Well, no, I'm like 7, 8 years old and watching RoboCop and Revenge of the Nerds. Like
Revenge of the Nerds was a great one.
Yeah, but there's so much. Ugh.
Yeah.
I should not have been watching that movie neither, and RoboCop either. But like my parents never. They're like, he's gonna see it, regardless. He's gonna get around to it. Might as well not hide it from him.
Yeah.
But I loved watching. All right, so I love Beavis and Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate it when they would go to the music video parts.
Why?
It broke up the story. I'm like, I'm watching a cartoon. I want to watch the story. I want to watch from point A to point B, and then the music video is they're just making fun of the music video, and like I don't give a shit about that. I want to finish the rest of the story.
But okay, but at the same time, the reason I did like that and I did respect it is because they were still making it a cartoon show, but it was a cartoon show based around music.
Oh no, and I can appreciate that.
So it was the only show they had, cartoon or anything, that was like a cartoon show, but it also had music videos, so it still had the aspect of MTV music television.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I like the new Beavis and Butthead now on Paramount because it doesn't have the music videos.
I haven't seen it. I only got to watch the first episode. Everything else I had to buy.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
And Beavis and Butthead Do America, I saw that in theaters. I snuck into theaters to see that. And then this was at the time when it was easy to sneak into theaters. And then we just kept going back and through it. So I probably saw the movie like 5 times in the same day.
Nice. Nice, dude. But,
it was a good movie.
But they MTV did create cultural icons.
Mm-hmm.
And it did create these pop culture. I don't know the word. Anyway, these Beavis and Butthead, for example, are still known. They're still out and about. They
just did a Saturday Night Live skit.
Exactly. They just did the Saturday Night Live skit. And like, what other cartoon from the 90s is getting some, kind of hit with this? And they're not.
Nothing. They're nothing.
They're not. And this is finally SNL's caught up with our generation.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. And they have, what was the guy's name? It was Keenan from Keenan and Kel, who was the main character part of that skit.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
And remember, he was from Nickelodeon's All That,
which
came out around the same time.
It was. When do we get into the downfall of MTV, and how much of it can we blame Carson Daly on?
See, now here's the thing. I don't know. So Carson Daly's job was to be a video, an MTV VJ. He did MTV Movie Award or Video Awards. They also did Movie Awards, I think. Yeah. But they also did behind the making of. He did TRL's Total Request Live. And so he did have a lot to do with the upcoming and the music aspect of MTV. But he did become like a celebrity icon. And I don't see where we go from him being a celebrity icon to shit like Pimp My Ride or Jersey Shore. I just don't see the correlation there.
There is no correlation. I just wanted to, give Carson Daly a hard time for being so fucking
perfect.
and handsome and
He was
shit.
like the Ryan Gosling of goddamn MTV, you know?
Yeah.
But
Well, all right. So, do we blame the real world,
I would say blame real world road rules.
or do we take it back a little bit more and blame MTV Spring Break? When MTV
Ooh.
producers really realize that real people in the
Hmm.
real world is cheaper than producing other content.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think MTV Spring Break might have been the biggest and the big downfall. From there, we, like you said, from MTV Spring Break, we got MTV Beach House, we got MTV Road Rules, and then we got Real World, and then they did the Real World Road Rules Challenge. And
Now
for
I'm not
the
saying MTV came up with the real world. I mean, that was originally from the UK, but
Mhm.
they realized that reality is cheaper to produce and it got more eyeballs.
And it sells.
It
Yeah,
sells.
that's the big thing. Reality TV sells. And I think once they discovered that reality TV sells, that's when they kind of started to go away with the cartoons. We're going to go away with the animation. We're going to go away with
The
TV
music
shows in
videos.
general. Yeah, music videos started to fiddle out. There it became a point where at first it became a point where they had scheduled times that they actually played music videos.
Yeah, and it was usually when we were in bed.
Yeah, and then it got to be to a point to where MTV pretty much didn't play music videos except super late at night, which again everybody's in bed, and it got to be a point to where it was so bad that MTV had to make MTV2, a separate station, a separate TV station, one for all the videos and shows, which is MTV, and then MTV2 would occasionally play music videos.
But now we got Teen Mom on both.
I so I probably haven't watched MTV since, let's see, finished high school in 2003. Um Probably 2005, 2006. I mean, it was the point to where it was nothing but TV shows.
Yeah,
Like like
it was reality or reality in
mhm.
quotation marks. Jersey
They
Shore and Teen Mom and
Pimp My Ride, MTV Cribs, but there was one good thing, one good TV show that came out of MTV.
Jackass.
Late 90s, Jackass. We got Jackass, which kind of coalesces into like reality TV in a way. Because I mean it
Uh,
was people doing stupid stunts, but it wasn't like a scripted show.
it
You
was one
you
of the
know.
last punk rock things that MTV did. It really was. It was the skater punk,
Uh-huh.
um, culture getting one last fuck you to corporate America, and then they sold out. And
And
that's
it was even their song was it was CKY. um oh my god, what was the name of the song?
it's on my
97
Spotify list.
quiet bitter things or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but it had that iconic tune to it that started out as like doo 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 doo. It was the theme song for the Jackass.
Right.
And which the music video had Bam Margera and what was God, Ryan Dunn.
Ryan Dunn.
It was Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn like fighting it out the whole video and destroying a car and shit. It was Jackass.
It was Jackass. It was
Yeah. It
skate
was
punk. It was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on TV. It was
mhm.
yeah,
And the
yeah, man.
first one of the first stunts they ever did was, which is the reason why we got the giant shopping cart in the Jackass movie. One of the first things they ever did, the first video that ever aired on Jackass, was them literally in a parking lot with people getting into shopping carts, and they would push them really fast and hit a curb.
Yeah.
That was like the premiere video of
Yeah.
Jackass.
Yeah. And then we had didn't Steve-O didn't he have like sparklers in his butt or something like that?
Yep. Yep.
Or
And
Roman
then
candle.
I think he might have done both.
Mm.
But from there, we got things like Jackass the movie. We got Wild Boys with Steve-O and Chris Pontius. I'm a big fan of Jackass. I watched it all.
The fourth movie's really good.
I, th- that's the only one I haven't seen yet, to be honest.
Really good. It
Yeah,
is.
I
It's definitely like, okay, these guys get too old for this shit, but
they really are, and like
but it was
we
fun.
see that in part 3 where they're trying to bring in new people.
Right.
But yeah, so MTV got to be a point where there's no more VJs. There's no more, Total Request Live or top 10 countdowns or anything like that. It literally became, you know, like the foundation for of youth to just watch reality shit.
Watch
And
other people's lives
yeah.
instead of having. Well, I'll say it. Music videos were an art form. Are an
Hmm.
art form that
They
only
have been.
that coalesces filmmaking and music, and to give you a visual story. Um, the video was the music video was like an extension of the original song when
Hmm.
it got to a point where artists were they were considering the video while they were writing the songs and
Hmm.
make sure that they would get it across visually along with
Yep.
audio. And it's yeah, there's the occasional music video that comes up now, but there's more music on network TV now than there is on music TV.
Hmm.
You
Well, I
know,
mean, okay, so if I tell you, hey, Falling in Reverse just came out with a badass new video called Ronald. It's got Tech Nine, it's got Ronnie, with Falling in Reverse, and it also has Alex Terrible. The video is called Ronald. If I told you to go watch that video, you're not going to go try to find it on MTV. You're not going to go try to find it on any music source or anything really. Most people, if I tell you to go watch this video, where are you going to go to watch the video?
where am I gonna go watch this
Yeah,
video? YouTube.
there you go.
YouTube.
And that's where it is. We have music TV, MTV channels and stuff. MTV is still a big hit and still around. And yet when someone tells me about music, I'm thinking Amazon Prime because that's where I get my music from. And if it's a music video, I'm thinking I'm going to go watch it on YouTube. That's what I think of when I think about music anymore.
Yeah. Well, the technology has gotten past the point of needing a cable network for culture, for
Hmm.
music.
Well,
It's
I
in our
mean,
pockets now, and it's not a thing where we go to school and say, "Hey guys, did you see this new video? Hell, hey guys, did you hear this new song on the radio?"
and that was a big thing back when I was growing up.
Oh sure, oh sure. It was
MTV would air a new music video, excuse me. Uh, Third Eye Blind's Jumper came out, and it
mm-hmm.
was a great song, great video, and me and my friends would talk about it. Where
Right.
did we see it? We saw it on MTV.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big part that we're missing now. That's a big
It
disconnect
is.
from where we used to be and where we are now.
Oh, no, I know, and now I know myself personally. I'm discovering new music on TikTok and Reels.
Me too, because I have to look it up and see what it is.
Right. I'm like, oh, that's pretty fun. All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like. All right. It's like finding out. It's like, what was that song in that commercial? Same thing. And it sucks. But I
Yeah.
mean, this is the world that we live in, and this is the way
Hmm.
it is now. The
Well,
music that my children listen to is wildly different than what I would have like tried to raise them up in. I'm sure my parents think the same thing
I
too, but
that's what I was gonna say.
you know, yeah. I mean, my parents listen
Every
to
every generation is gonna think that the next generation's music is shit. Let's face it. I hear a lot of the music that's out now, and a lot of music like a new metal band and I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh hey, this band sounds awesome. They're called Asking Alexandria. I was like, all right, let's check this out. And then I listened to it and I'm just like, fuck, what the hell is this crap, dude? But and then every once in a while you come across another band that just absolutely blows your mind away. You
Right.
know, it's kind of hit and miss, and it's hard to keep up with music nowadays. And I think,
No, you're right. You're right. There's really it seems like it's a little even more difficult now to be
hmm
a sustainable music star.
hmm
At least within pop and rap. Um, Everybody's turning into producers and bringing in a new generation. Only ones that stick around usually now are country and soul, maybe R&B, but
I'd say metal, country, and metal definitely because huge metalhead myself. You know, I've got old bands that are still out there 30 years later, still putting out new music. Some of them are kind of trying to change with the new ways to make them sound better. You got different band members that are like in the metal scene. You might have one band that you love that that goes through like 3 or 4 different singers, you know, or band members. Like there's a lot of changing out. That doesn't really happen with like hip hop and pop because most of those bands typically follow just the singer.
yeah,
You
that's true.
know, it's the same thing with country too. Country bands, hip hop's bands, and pop culture bands, they focus everything around the singer. And even so much so that a lot of the bands are named after just the singer,
Hmm. No, you're
you
right.
know.
You're right. Taylor
Which is something
Swift.
I never She's the one, like one of the main people I'm sitting here thinking about right now. I was like Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
you know. But then I was thinking about it too, like country.
Yeah.
Almost every country band out there is named after the singer.
Yeah, it's the singer. It's the singer with a backup band. And that's
Yeah, pretty
fine.
much.
It's fine. It's I get it. But they're the ones that are building the longer sustaining stars,
hmm
and they're not like just in and out one hit wonders. There's so many one. It feels like there's so many one hit wonders that's been coming out these past what 4 years.
hmm
It just or probably even longer. And where are
What
the
there's
longer living
actually
music stars?
there's actually um one of the Amazon Prime playlists that I listen to occasionally is 1990s one hit wonders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They
That's
play
fine.
band like Fastball. I don't know if you ever remembered the band Fastball and
I
the
remember
Way.
fastball. I remember the
Yeah.
way.
So I feel like 90s had a lot of them, but then again, 90s was when I was trying to listen to new music.
But it's so much faster now. These one hit wonders are going to get are staying in the Billboard top 10, top 20
hmm
for a couple of weeks. And it seems like these artists now are in and out within a week, if that. It's like
Wow.
hot song, top of the charts, and then boom, gone. And it goes with the TikTok phases.
hmm I think TikTok is really helping pushing certain musicians' careers by once a song gets popular on TikTok, then it stays in rotation and people are making videos using that because it's a popular song. And when people hit that popular song or hashtag it, it'll pull up different videos. So it's almost become trendy to use popular music.
For the day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, But we're old men. What do we know?
I know. I
You
mean,
know, get
for
off my
example,
lawn. It's not my MTV.
for example, look at our TikTok. Like we don't have a very big TikTok presence. We're trying, but we got enough on our plate as it is. Uh but I made one really short ass video that had a semi popular song in it. And all the other videos have 200 hits. This one immediately jacked up to like 1600 hits overnight.
Right.
And I think it had nothing to do with what the content was. I think it had to do with the music, the
It
song that
was.
was in there.
It was a song already in a whole bunch of other people's algorithms, which is
hmm
the reason why the song was even in your algorithm to even use it.
hmm Well,
Um,
To be honest, I pulled the song out of Facebook. I didn't even get the song from TikTok.
Yeah, there you go. They're all the same.
Yeah. But yeah, back to MTV. MTV is just, I mean, I'll give them props. 100%. I'll give them props. They're still in the game. I I assume. I mean, if you Google MTV, there's still MTVs out there.
Oh, they still need a
Uh
place to run reruns of
the Kardashians,
Snooki and
or was
Jay
that
Wow
VH1?
get married, and
You already know more than I do about Jersey Shore. All I
Teen
know is
Mom
fist pumping.
3, and yeah. Look, I watched. Look, I'm guilty of watching my fair share of trash
Hmm.
television. Um,
Oh, we all are, I'm sure.
and trash television just seems to be coming out of MTV. And
It's what they're good at.
now I feel like my parents. It's happened. Why are you watching that garbage? I like it.
You remember there was another one too that came out on there. It was called True Life.
True Life.
Uh,
Now, True Life was very interesting. True Life
I
was
liked
those
it because I like
documentary
documentaries.
shorts.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. It was really that was like one of the first times on one of those episodes you got to see the real behind the scenes and the
Hmm.
breaking of kayfabe in professional wrestling,
Hmm.
which is their kind of like secret language of professional wrestling, and really seeing how they do it, how the sauce is made. And that was one of the first times I've seen that. And that was really
Yeah.
interesting. And just seeing some of the other stuff that was on there. It's like watching like when we grew up watching Mr. Rogers, and then we'd see like he would do his little picture videos of like factories and stuff, and how did this get made? And it was interesting. It really interesting.
Oh,
Grew up appreciating documentaries that way.
completely off topic, but yes, I agree. I do love documentaries, but I'm real picky about what they're about. Um, real quick though,
How many World War II documentaries have you watched this past year?
none.
Good boy.
Okay. Well, okay. Does
You haven't reached your
watching
40s.
does watching a video about Nazis um capturing UFOs and using alien technology, does that count?
Bro, that was Captain America First Avenger.
No, there's actually a History Channel like 3-part documentary about Nazis and them using UFO technology and the bunkers that they've uncovered. But anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Um okay, so you mentioned Mr. Rogers. Fred Rogers. Okay?
Yeah.
Did you know that Mr. Rogers is canon in the Marvel universe?
In the
Yep.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nope, the Marvel written universe, the comics.
Now, I remember seeing that short of Mr. Rogers picking up Thor's hammer.
Yep, that's the one I'm talking about.
Is that in
It
the actual comic books, or I thought that was a
okay,
fan
so
made thing?
hold up. Here's how it played out. That was fan made, and it was Mr. Rogers on his roof having a conversation about Thor and about how things can appear heavier and harder than they really are sometimes. And that's when like he calmly picks up his hammer and he hands it over to him, and Thor's like kind of blown away. And it was this really touching comic strip, and it got real popular real fast to the point of it reached Marvel Studio, or not Marvel Studios, but like the Marvel Comic Studios.
Mm.
It actually made its way to them, and a bunch of people were talking about, oh, this needs to be canon, this needs to really happen, or whatever. And I can't remember who it was at the time. I'm not quoting any names or anything because I can't remember the artist or who it was that was in charge of Thor at the time, who got a hold of the comic and reached out to the person that made the comic strip and announced it on his feed and everything that that comic is 100% canon in the Marvel universe as far as the comics go, which means
It wasn't printed in any Marvel
It
comics,
was not
dude.
printed, hey, but he gave him credit and he said that it was canon. So I'll take that and run to the hills with that. Mr.
Uh,
Rogers is canon in the Marvel universe.
well, good.
I like how we went from MTV to this, but I had to mention that since we talked about it.
Well, Santa's a mutant. But anyway, back to MTV. Look it up. He's
No,
Omega
no, no.
level.
Yes, he is.
Um, just putting that out there. Back to MTV.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay,
Okay.
back to MTV.
What more can we say? What more can we honestly say about MTV except for how disappointing it is to us now?
It's
We do have the memories. We do have the
we
it
have
was
great
better in
memories.
our day. Just like every generation of Saturday Night Live is like, oh, my years were better. My
Yeah,
years are better.
but you
But
can't pair it to Saturday Night Live because Saturday Night Live basically had a script and they went with it, and they haven't really left that.
as a
MTV
Zennial,
has completely changed its format and everything that they stand by and everything that they do.
look, we got to witness the downfall of MTV, the rise of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're the fortunate age that got to see this cultural shift,
Mm-hmm.
and fortunate or unfortunate enough that we've gotten to live through it. Um, but I think the last bastion of I think really people having like this authentic attachment to music, um, which kind of goes back to an earlier topic of ours in social media. So last time that was really synced up to music was MySpace.
Yeah, yeah,
Once once we got
because we
out of
all had our own
once we
profile songs.
we had our own profile songs, or we had our own profile playlist that our
Mm-hmm.
friends could go and see, and that we could adjust it with our feelings and stuff like that. And sure, we could share music videos on Instagram, Twitter, and or songs on Facebook. Um, but it was this is mine, and this is on
Yeah,
my page.
yeah,
And I think
we
that's the
all had our own
last
little top
time.
10.
And I think that was the last time that we had a real ownership of music, and now it's just in one ear and out the
Mm-hmm.
other. And
Bands
there's
come, bands go.
bands come, bands go. We don't buy physical media anymore.
Mm-mm.
They barely make music videos anymore to tell a story visually. And now it's getting sampled for TikTok and Fortnite dances. Um, I,
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
gonna be
wrong. You're
I'm gonna
not
be the
wrong.
curmudgeon old man. Like,
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, but I just wonder what the next generation, what my children when they're my age, are gonna be like. Oh God, Fortnite's just not the same as it used to be.
Well, I never cared about it anyways. I spent more freaking time in the lobby than I did actually playing the game.
No, but I'm just
And
saying,
not
like,
to
what's
mention,
gonna be their MTV? What's gonna be their? What's gonna be
oh,
their? Our
what's
generation
going to be their
had.
TikTok?
Mm,
You got kids growing up on platforms like TikTok and Facebook. We had TV shows.
sure.
They have streaming services.
Yeah,
You
they
you
could
know,
skip
like
ads, and we had to
exactly
go
like
pee real quick before the show came back on.
yeah, we come from different generations, and each generation is going to have their own aspect. It's like have you seen the videos of the parents telling a kid to if you had to signal taking a picture, what would you do?
I actually just did this with my kids the other day.
And we would do this because we come from an era where you took pictures and cameras. Nowadays, if you ask a kid how you would do that, they would do this.
Yeah,
Like
answer the
it's
phone.
in yeah, yeah. For us, it was this, and for them, it's yeah. I mean, it's the generation gap. For us, we had MTV. We were of the generation that was there to to see the birth and death, I would say, of MTV music videos before streaming and before YouTube, before Spotify, before all these other streaming services. And I am curious, in the future, will we still have YouTube? Will the kids be like, "Oh, I remember when we had YouTube when we were young and we can look up everything. Now we have this."
Yeah.
Everything will continue to progress and change. We're both two bitter old men who had something amazing and was literally in the same span had that amazing thing just corrupt and melt away into shit.
It imploded in on itself. And, what are we
It
left
was
with?
we're left with YouTube now for
Yeah.
me. If I want to watch a music video, that's my go-to. I don't even think of MTV unless I think of like Jackass or Beavis and Butthead, or if I happen to see an old movie like Joe's Apartment or something.
Oh, God.
You remember Joe's Apartment?
I do. I do.
Welcome to Joe's Apartment. Anyways, if y'all haven't seen that, it's a movie about a bunch of cockroaches that talk to a guy and kind of help him out with his life
His love
and
life.
in his shitty apartment. They're cockroaches. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Joe.
Straight from the minds of MTV.
Yep.
But,
So
I asked my kids the other day, we were in Target, and one of them held up a MTV t shirt. And I was like, oh, wow, I haven't seen that logo in a while. And they were like, yeah, Dad, can I get it? And I'm like, you tell me what that is first.
can,
I'm going to be a little gatekeeping right now. And you
can
tell me
can you
what that
name
is.
can you name a show?
Right.
Can you name a show from there?
No, put it back.
All right. So we are getting kind of close to the end.
We are. We've been bitching for 45 minutes about how it
Well,
was
we knew
better in the
going
day.
into this. We knew
I
going
know.
into this that this was going to be an episode to bitch about, to vent about, to essentially complain about. I got to pull up something here real quick
Sure.
before I do my little show and tell. Let me see here. Do. Let's see.
I
Where
did
is
like to
it?
watch the movie awards though. Movie awards on MTV seemed like a hell of a lot of fun. For like the longest time, the movie awards when they would give away the statue of a thing of popcorn, I loved watching that until like Cable
All right.
Guy won everything one year.
Cable. Hey, I loved Cable Guy. I thought it was great.
I love Cable Guy too, but there's only so much Jim Carrey I can take.
This is true. Um, so I wanted to give a shout out to
Oh,
G Cubs 6483. G Cubs 6483.
G
Uh,
Cubs.
yep. Thank you, G Cubs, because as we said in our last video, we wanted y'all to choose our next topic. And G Cubs came up with this and said next episode should be about what does the M really stand for, because it used to be music. Now it's only shows and other stuff.
I'll tell you what
And
the M stands for.
we 100% agree with you there, dude.
G Cubs. I'll tell you what it is. The M in MTV stands for mediocrity.
Ooh. Ooh, have we fallen that hard?
We have.
Ouch.
It is meh TV.
I will agree with that one. MTV is now meh TV.
And G Cubs, I'm gonna have to double up on my Zoloft now because of you. Thanks.
Well, I have something that showed up in the mail. That
Ooh, show and
actually,
tell.
yeah, I got to do a little show and tell. Um,
What'd you get?
you as well as a couple of others, uh, because I was posted in this and mentioned in this comment or post. numerous times, I had to buy something.
What'd you buy?
I haven't aired it yet because I wanted to be a surprise on this episode. But I already did an unboxing video. I was taking a page out of your book.
Oh. What is that? Truff, Dark Side, Hot? Whoa. Oh, yeah!
I got the Star Wars truffle hot sauce with ghost pepper.
Oh, my
So,
God.
for starters, a reason I wanted to do an unboxing too is because this
This is a
this is a
beautiful
heavy
box.
duty, beautiful box.
I love the
And
Empire logo.
the way it opens up.
Oh,
Oop, oop,
nice. Yeah, that's
damn
okay.
it. There we go.
What's the bottle look like? Oh, it looks like a dildo.
Okay, it does kind of look like a Darth. I mean, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, but
Oh my
especially the
God.
back side of it. Like the back side's, yeah. Okay, and for those listening and not watching the video, it's a big black bottle with Darth Vader's head on it.
No. It's a big black shaft of a bottle.
The
with,
head the head and the bottle,
head that
yeah, the head and the
flares.
bottle are about the same thickness too. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, on to the product, which
You got a
I will.
BBB there, buddy. Big black bottle.
See, this is an upside. This is much better than talking about. I'd rather talk about this than MTV.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is ghost pepper. It does have truffle. It's got a lot of garlic note to it as far as the taste and smell goes. And the rest you'll just have to see in my video.
Right on, dude.
That's it. But yeah,
well, fantastic. I can't wait to see that.
Picked that up and had some fun with it.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, on my TikTok, I've kind of showed my packing situation going on here. This is going to be the last episode that I film in front of this wall, and my action figure collection's all already packed up. But I'm moving out of here and onwards and upwards.
Yep, onto greener pastures.
Yeah, on the greener pastures, and we're gonna have a lot of fun on the way. But this is going to be our episode. This is, I think, we got to call it here.
This is a good time, yeah.
Yeah, please like and follow and share our social medias. OATF TG or OZ and the Freak Talk Geek all across social media. Check out our link tree. Check out our YouTube. Please download us on Spotify and iTunes. Please hit us up with your comments, your questions, your concerns. Let Freak know how afraid you are for him in that bottle with penetration. Yeah, but
pretty blunt right there too. Like
just put a little spit on it. Just put a little spit on it.
It's the exiting I would be afraid of, like this part right here. Like, oof, that might catch on something. Anyways,
you'll blow out an O-ring. And speaking of O-rings, for the Freak, I'm OZ, and we've been talking geek.
Yep. I love y'all. Y'all be good. Be great. Tell your friends. That's the show. Oh.